This is Standing Strong with Waylon Myers. Let's stand strong together. And I'm your co-host, Tyler Peters. This show gives you the courage and strength to talk about life's challenging struggles.
There is more bullying, depression, anxiety, crimes, and hate. It's breaking apart the strength we have in ourselves.
My name is Waylon Myers, and I'm interviewing people around the world alongside my co-host Tyler Peters as we bring more kindness and courage back into the world. Hello everyone, and wow, the 35th episode of Standing Strong with Waylon Myers. I'm just so grateful, and it amazes me that I made it this far. Before we get started, I just wanted to say that my official website is now up and running. Check it out at waylonmyers.com. And now I give you Tyler Peters with any updates he may have or his quote for this episode.
Waylon, my friend, I am doing so good. It's always a privilege to be on here with you on Standing Strong. I can't wait to talk to our guest, Miss Averi White. But before I do, everything's been going good. And congratulations on WaylonMyers.com. That's an exciting website. So go check it out if you're watching. WaylonMyers.com. My inspirational quote: failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. So we can learn from our failure. So that is something that resonated with me, and I hope it speaks to you, Waylon, and our viewers. I mean, I'm just so delighted that I'm back once again with you. I mean, it's always an honor.
Thank you, and I appreciate that.
You're
And now, my introduction for Averi White. Averi White is an actress known for Escaping Captivity, The Kara Robinson Story, Doorman, Kelsea Ballerini, Homecoming Queen, and more. She's a very talented and inspiring woman. So you see, Averi White is changing the lives of others. So ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you my 15th Doorman actor that I have interviewed and my 35th guest. Please welcome Averi White.
Waylon, thank you so much. I'm going to need you to follow me around everywhere because you're hyping me up right now. Oh my gosh. Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
You are very welcome. At this time right now, before we get started into the interview, can you tell everyone where they can find you on social media just in case they want to get in touch with you?
Well, if you guys want to follow me around, social media and stuff, I am on Instagram at official_Avery_White. And you can follow my TikTok too. I just did TikTok. It's at Avery_Reese. So we can go have fun, watch videos and stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so
Cool.
much.
Yeah.
And now on to the first question. Were you a victim of bullying? If so, what advice did you follow to avoid the negativity of people's opinion?
Yeah, unfortunately, I was a victim of bullying. One thing that I can specifically remember is in elementary school, my school really didn't have a lot of creative classes, not a lot of focus on creativity. And I was a very imaginative, creative child. I still am very creative, imaginative. And I really wanted to be creative. So I used to just do plays at recess. I used to be talking to people, say, come over and do my play. Well, you can come in, you can do improv, let's have fun. And a lot of people thought that was really weird. So a lot of people would point and laugh and say that, what are you doing? That's so weird. And the word weird I want to redefine that word because I feel like it should be a positive thing. Everybody's a little weird. We're all a little weird, and I love that. Like that's what my shirt says: keep weird. We gotta keep weird a little bit, you know?
Right.
Absolutely.
I agree.
For advice for someone, I would just say stay true to yourself, because there are a lot of moments where I was insecure and saying, well, maybe I shouldn't do this because people laugh at me for doing it and they're making fun of me. So maybe I should just do the normal straight route, just be, put that creativity away. And I was very unhappy for a while when I did that, because I'm really creative and that part of my brain needed to be scratched. So I feel like if you just stay true to what you're feeling at the moment, stay true to your creativity side, any side that really comes out a lot, you just have to stay true to that. And I know that seems very vague and it's like, well, that's easy to do, right? But when you find it, you feel so much positivity, and I've never felt like better in my life than I do like right now, because of what I'm doing and doing these Dhar Mann videos, and they're wonderful. And I'm actually able to scratch that creativity itch in my brain, and at the same time influencing other people in these videos to also just be themselves, which is amazing.
Awesome. You're truly an inspirational person.
Thank you. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. Now, there is a lot of cyberbullying that happens too. What's your personal opinion on that?
I think it's the worst. Like it is so awful how somebody can say something to someone that they don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what that person's going through. They could be having the worst day, and your one comment can make it all worse, can make it even worse than what they're feeling. And I think that's something that we need to fix by spreading positivity and standing strong like you guys are doing. It's amazing that you guys have this like you guys are just so positive, and I love that, because we need more positivity on the internet. It's wonderful seeing what you guys are doing, because I've witnessed and been a victim of cyberbullying before as somebody who is on social media, and I feel like just smiling through it and keeping going, showing that you're not affected by what they're saying. They don't have any power anymore over you, those trolls and those bullies. They don't have any more power if you just smile and say, okay, all right, well, I'm still here. I'm still positive. I'm still going.
Right. Absolutely. I love that. Tyler, what do you have to say?
I agree. You've got such positivity shining through you from the answers. It's just so inspiring, and we definitely stand against that kind of thing. And I think you're right. We just need to learn how to smile through our problems, through our failures. So true. And I'm just going to stand in agreement. I don't mean to sound redundant, but I can't help it. It's so true. It's so powerful. So thank you so much. And to yourself, Avery, and Waylon, I'm just in total agreement.
Well, I loved your quote at the beginning of the video as well. I loved your quote. I thought
thank you.
So true that your failures can influence your success.
Yes,
absolutely.
It's amazing. It really is true.
Yep, 100%. Talking about depression and anxiety, what has helped you overcome it, and what advice would you give to people around the world?
So, me personally, I have experienced very little depression and anxiety, thankfully for myself, but I live at home with my parents, and my mother struggles from anxiety. And I see it every day happening, panic attacks, and feeling when we're in the car, I can tell when she feels like she needs to get out, like she feels stuck. So what I always do when she gets in those little, she's not little, wow, it's so scary to see when that happens, when she gets in the panic attacks. What I know is movies and TV shows. I'm a big movie fan. I'm a big TV show fan. So we always just talk about movies when she gets like that. It's a way of diverting what she's feeling at the moment, but also giving her clarity and saying, I'm here with you and I'm talking to you. I'm talking you through this panic attack. And it is really hard to see. But my advice, again, I always preach this, is to just keep going is what I always say to people when they ask me for any advice on Instagram, TikTok, social media. Just keep going, because I know it feels like you're alone. And why am I feeling anxious all the time? Why am I feeling like this? And by reaching out and talking to people about it, that's a great way. That's a great way of helping it. And that's what I always do with my mom. We talk about it. I say, what are you feeling right now? Talk me through what you're going through, because I have never experienced that kind of panic attack before. And it is very scary.
Yeah.
But by talking through it and by really listening to her, that's how I feel like I can help with anxiety.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah, talking to anyone, whether it's a family member, a principal, a teacher, a boss, a coworker, just talk to someone and they will help you get through it. Because being depressed, being depressed is just not good.
No, and I see it happen, and I always reach out to friends who are feeling that, because I feel like if I can just be one person, if I can just listen, maybe I can help you through it. Just being that one person there that can just be a listener. That's what I feel like my role is in that.
Sure.
Yep, absolutely. Now, there's a lot of crime and hate going on in this world. Have you ever experienced it firsthand in real life and not just acting? And what advice would you give to help someone get help?
Since we were on the topic of bullying and just violence in that way, and that is a form of violence, is being bullied. It's so scary what's happening right now in the world, and since social media is bigger than ever, it's so much easier for that to go on, and just hateful people. And I just, as someone who's very positive, it's like, well, what can I do as a person to combat that in a way? It's so big. What can I do? And that's when I started working at Dhar Mann. And it is a wonderful place, and they make wonderful videos that just can, if I can just be, as I say, if I can be just that one vessel as an actor, you get to be this vessel of emotion. And you get, if I can just change one person's outlook on life, then I've done my job. That's my job. If I can just change one person's outlook to change to positive in the world, then I've done what an actor's job is.
Awesome. And that you are, because when I first watched you on Doorman, you basically helped change my life, making me think positive and staying strong, because the videos he does every day, it's incredible, and they are life-changing.
Yeah, I know. I get messages all the time from people saying, like, I was really sad, and like, I just lost my dog. I got a message a couple of days ago. She had lost her dog. And watching these videos, the video I just did was about a woman losing her dog. And then her daughter helped her through it. And at the end, they got another dog, but saying this dog cannot replace the other dog that passed away, but hopefully you can feel better about it. And she reached out and she said that it really helped her cope with it in a way. Seeing how we were in the grieving process with her helped her along it. And I thought that's amazing that I can do that for someone who's like a million miles away, other side of the world. It's amazing what we can do for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is.
Kyla?
Yeah, that actually answers another question I was going to say for later, but you brought it up, talking about how it's touched people, the Dhar Mann episodes. There was a few that really inspired me. That's the one about the true story about the sister having to be the mother.
Yeah.
And the teacher at first was very angry. I mean, she, I guess, thought maybe you weren't taking care of the kid as your character was betraying. And that really spoke to me. I mean, I get tears in my eyes sometimes watching these, because it does. It reminds you of life struggles that people go through these things, but you guys act them out so well that I take a couple steps back and go, whoa, I'm worrying about these little details that aren't important. I'm stressing over nothing, because look at their situation. They lost their father to cancer, and this girl is doing such a great job, fantastic job, making her happy, raising her, this half sister in it. And to know it's a true story meant even more. So That's all I was going to add to it. You just said it that, obviously they're touching people. People are just being uplifted by these kind of messages. And it does. It helps remind us, as humanity, as what Colin and Paul and Waylon can attest to, that we need to get back to a sense of it. I mean, mankind we need each other. We need to lean on each other, kind of like the song says. And that's that in a nutshell. But that's all I was going to add to it. It really brings up my spirits. So thank you for the Dhar Mann episodes and what you all do.
Thank you for watching and receiving what us actors are, what our main goal is with doing these. Like that's beautiful. What you said was, very true and very, very well spoken. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Yeah. Now, what hardships did you experience in your life, and what were some ways you overcame them?
So I'm from Texas. So I moved to California when I was about 13 years old to pursue acting, and I moved to California. I didn't have any friends coming out here, and at 13 you're so insecure and you just really want to be friends with somebody. So you're in that point in your life where you're trying to conform, as you've done before. You just want to try to find friends out here. And I think that was a big hardship, was me thinking, oh, people are going to think I'm weird again, because that's what people thought when I lived in Texas. But no, people in California, we're all a little weird. So I was able to actually find friends who love my energy and love my personality. So I really felt like this was my home now, especially since I made friends. But for a while there, it was being young and not having any friends. It was really a struggle because I didn't have anyone to lean on, to talk to about what I was feeling. So it was really hard at that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I've definitely had my share of hardships, even when things are looking good. That's sometimes when you face your hardest obstacles in life. And I went through it just this week. I've been open about it. But thanks to Waylon, I'll tell you, you talked about friends earlier, having to talk out problems. That's how me and him do. I mean, we really are a team because he helps me out so much. I think more than he knows. So I just want to give him props for that. And for you shedding light on it, because it's neat to hear a different perspective. And you do have such an energy that it's infectious. I mean, I'm wanting to smile more, which is a good thing. So thank you for that. It's a nice feeling to know that we need more of that happiness. And that's something I need to work on, because it's easy for me to come on here and sometimes pretend, go through the motions, but these shows have helped me with that, even my demeanor at times. So I want to say thank you to you all, and I appreciate it. I'm learning so much from being a co-host on this show. So it means a lot to me.
You're welcome, Tyler.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey.
So happy for you.
Yeah, no problem. You all deserve it.
Thanks. Now, Avery, how have your experience affected your life long term, good or bad? Did those experiences change your goals or change the direction of your career?
Well, I definitely think coming out to California really put it all in perspective, because I was doing auditions and auditions and auditions and auditions, and I was like, man, I'm not getting anything out here. Is it me? Am I doing something wrong? And then I popped back into the insecure self that I used to be. And I was like in my shell again, saying, am I not good enough to be out here? Because I see other people succeeding and I was feeling bad that I was feeling envious. I was saying, why are you not happy for your friend? You should be happy for them in a way. And it really taught me about being grateful. And I say this all the time, that you really have to look back on your life and where you are right now. Like I, right now, am very grateful for what I've been given with Dhar Mann, how amazing that was. And then other bookings about succeeding, like Kara Robinson, Escaping Captivity. That was about a girl escaping her captor, which was about success and overcoming things. And you look back at these amazing projects that you've worked on that have influenced people, and you just look back with gratefulness.
Right.
And that is what I've really learned being out here. Those experiences have changed my career now, because every audition I'm like, yep, I'm grateful for what I have this audition. If I don't book it, I did a good job. That's what I'm saying. I did a good job. That's what I always say. I'm like, I know that I did the best that I can, and if they didn't like it, I liked it. That's what I always say. I liked what I did.
Yeah, it's about speaking positivity, like what you are talking about. I mean, exactly. Case in point.
Yep. If you love something, go after your dream and it will come.
Exactly. I always say for people who are asking me for acting advice, I say, well, there is that role for you. There is that one role for you that will be given to you in time. And it may take days, weeks, months, years, but you have that. There is one for you. And that one may spawn with a couple other ones afterwards and more and more, and it keeps building. And I think that's what I really like to say to people, is that there is something for you. Trust me, there is something, because I know that you can feel kind of defeated after a while. Like, maybe I'm not doing something right.
Yeah.
But I always just say there is one. I promise. I promise there's one out there.
I love it. And now, everyone, before we continue on with this episode, if you have any questions that you would like to ask Avery before we wrap up the show, get them in the comments and we will ask her your question. And now, if there is one thing, Avery, you can tell people about standing strong and to stay true to themselves, what advice would it be?
Well, like I said before, it's just being yourself and smiling through what your failures were, because success is on the way.
Yeah.
100%.
Right.
I love your quote. I'm going to have to write that quote down and stick it on my wall somewhere, because I definitely need that in my daily life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's powerful.
It's very powerful. 100%.
Yeah. Tyler does awesome with quotes and stuff. So I was like, he's going to be my quote person.
I appreciate that, Waylon.
It's amazing.
You're welcome. All right. I am going to take it over to Tyler Peters with what he wants to ask you.
Yeah, during the conversation, you brought up something interesting. I'm curious, fascinated really by the process of acting. I mean, do you feel like you have to approach it differently compared to if you're doing like a show like Dhar Mann compared to a movie like you were talking about, as far as the role? That's something, for people that don't know, it's just curious. I mean, how's that work?
Well, I like to take every script that I get. So we get an audition, we get the scripts, we get our sides. I like to take every audition and I like to full force it. No matter if it's I'm saying one thing like, here's your ticket, sir. I'm just gonna be like, here's your ticket, sir. I am gonna go all the way, because I feel like why not try on that one line if that one line can get you something, I feel like even if you have the smallest role in the world, you better work that audition. You better go. You better be energized in that audition.
Yeah.
But for Dhar Mann roles, we normally get the script. It depends, maybe a week or a couple days before we're going to shoot. So I like to approach it the same way. I really like when I get characters with an arc, like as you said before with the adopted sister, the sister video. I really looked at that role and I did my own research about people who have had to adopt their sisters. And I think that it's really amazing what these young people do. I'm only 18 years old, and I could not even imagine having to look after another individual like that. I can barely feed myself, let alone somebody else, So I think it's amazing what these young, basically they are mothers, are doing to their sisters. I think that's brilliant, and I think it's another tale about being resilient and being successful in that. And I think that video is my favorite by far because of that.
Yeah, you did a great job on that role. I mean, it really, it pulled on the heartstrings. I know we hear that a lot, and people take it for granted, but it does. It connects with you. So, that was one of the questions. And another one, and I'll throw it back to Waylon, is music. We all love music, and I didn't realize how great of a singer you were. So forgive me for that. I had caught doing our research, me and Waylon, we had saw the video that you sang "Please Come Home for Christmas," I think via YouTube. And man, you've got some range too. That's not an easy song to sing.
Yeah,
And
you do.
you've got some pops. And so I'm telling you, what was it that made you say, "Hey, not only acting, but I want to sing"? I'm into music. I think listeners or viewers are curious about that. I mean, it's interesting to know a little bit about how people get into that, because I know for me, I wasn't much of a singer at first. I had to be kind of forced, and then I finally said, "Hey, I love this stuff." So, I mean, what were your impressions about that?
Well, I've always just kind of grown up around music. My grandfather was the pastor of a church, so we would always listen to music at church. He had a banjo, pull it out, sit on the porch. And I think that just growing up around music was probably one of my influences. And then I did musical theater growing up. That was my way. Instead of doing plays at recess, my mom was like, "Okay, we got to take you to the actual theater. You're doing too many plays at recess." So I did a musical, and I realized this is really cool. I kind of like doing this, because at first I thought I was going to be really nervous, because I was used to my audience of 2 people at recess, not like 10 plus people at this theater. And I started singing, and I felt really good. I felt like this, you get that eureka moment. You're like, whoa, wait, this is really fun. And I kind of like this. This is really fun. Yeah. I think that's really where my inspiration came from, was doing musical theater.
Yeah, that's awesome. You got a beautiful voice, and me and Waylon concur. I mean, after hearing that video, it was like, whoa, we knew you were a great actress, but you're also an amazing singer. So I had to ask. We asked Paul that too, because he's into the music too. So
he is wonderful.
Oh, he is. Oh gosh,
his song is on amazing. Spotify as well. Letters on the Page is on Spotify, and it's so good.
Oh, it's
such a good song.
It's incredible.
Now talk about your experience with him and doing that episode with him.
Well, I love Paul. He's like my buddy. I love him so much. He's so amazing with the way that he acts. He's we call him a giving actor, because he's very good at listening to the other person in the scene. And I know that might sound weird, because it's like, well, you guys have lines. You're not supposed to listen, right? But we are always actively listening to each other in scenes. And he is really good at it. I would be like, he would change up a line really quick, and I'm like, whoa, hold on. He just changed like the whole scene. This is amazing. He's wonderful and such a talented musician, and he's great. I hope to work with him again.
Yeah, that'll be amazing. Maybe we can have a part 2 with you guys.
Please.
Yeah, let's hope so.
I would love that.
Now, what is your inspirational quote that helps you, that sticks to you to not give up?
Oh man, I can't think of one on the top of my head, but I always think about what Bruce Lee says. He used to say, he said, "You flow like water. You let things roll off your back. Flow like water. It comes off your back. It doesn't hit you like a rock. Things shouldn't hit you like a rock. It hits you like water." So it kind of flows off your shoulders. It doesn't move you in a way. It doesn't bother you. That's how I kind of live my life now, is that things shouldn't hit you like a rock, hits you like water.
Absolutely. I love that. Which music artist helped you in your life that made you wanted to sing?
Oh man, I think it's gonna have to give it to Kelly Clarkson. I love her so much. As a Texas girl myself, she really inspired me, because she was living out of her car before American Idol. She was living out of her car. She made her clothes. She was working as a waitress, so she really didn't have a lot of things to her name. Now she's like one of the biggest pop singers, country singers in the world. She has her own talk show. It's amazing what can happen when you just work hard. And she worked hard for what she has now. She has worked her booty off, 100%.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of hers.
She's amazing. Yep. Now, if you was not an actress or an actor, what will you be today?
I think I would do something with animals. I love animals. I used to work at a cat shelter, and that's where I found my own cat. So I think anything to do with animals, like volunteer work, I'm still volunteering. So I think anything to do with animals, because they're the best. I love animals.
Yeah. What's your favorite pet?
Oh, don't make me choose. Oh no. Okay. Okay. I have a dog and a cat. I love them very much. So I'm just gonna put it there. I love my dog and my cat.
Awesome. Yeah.
I think I like cats a little more.
It's
I like cats
okay.
just a little
Yep.
bit more.
Now, there's so many Doorman actors today. Who is one that you would like to do a episode of that you never had a chance to yet?
Catherine. 100% Catherine. And it's so weird that we haven't worked together. I say she should play my mom in a video.
Yeah, that'll be amazing.
Play a great mom to me.
Yeah. Now, what does it mean to you that Doorman is now longer with his video than they used to be? What does that mean to you?
I think it's great because before, characters wouldn't really go through a whole arc. Like say they go, whole character development, because we only had like 10 minutes, 12 minutes, maybe 8, a little shorter than that. But now we have these 20-minute videos. So we're able to tell a complete story, which I think is great. Because normally people would be like part two, and it's very hard to maybe do a part 2 to that video because maybe didn't need it. But with these longer videos, it's great because you get to actually see the character develop through the whole video.
Right,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right.
Yep. Now, do you hope one day you will be a part of a Doorman feature film?
Yes, that'd be so fun. I remember I went to the premiere of the first one they did, and it was amazing. I thought it was so great. I thought that all the actors did a great job. Colin, Catherine, they were wonderful. The little girl playing the adopted daughter, it was just so heartbreaking. She did such a great job. Oh my gosh, when she cries, I'm like, stop, please stop, don't cry, please. She did a great job. So definitely, I would love to see what they can do for another feature. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I thought that feature film was good. It was even better than some movies you've seen today. I just loved it. It was very well put together. But,
it was really good.
Yeah. Tyler, before we go on to a question in the comments, do you have any more questions that you have for Avery?
Yeah, just one more. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about how did you get into the music video with Kelsea Ballerini? I mean, that's something that's very interesting. That's a Tennessee girl. So you said about Clarkson being a Texas native. Well, I'm kind of partial to Kelsea Ballerini too, because she's out of Tennessee, very talented, and I thought that was cool. What's that experience about? What was it like?
Well, I didn't even really audition with any words. Obviously, it was a music video, so we didn't speak, but they submitted my picture to play a young version of her, and I got it, and I knew who she was too, because I love country music. So I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my gosh, this is so weird. And that was my first acting job. So I was super nervous, and they did my hair and makeup, and there was this crazy like spinny camera going around me. So it was just a lot of stuff going on, but she was the nicest person ever. Like we were talking about being from the South, and she was just so sweet. And she knew it was my first time acting because she was like, you're okay, it's gonna be fun. All you gotta do is just like sing the words and you're good. And she was just really sweet because I was like this young 14-year-old who was like, oh, I don't know. This is my first job. What do I do? But she was so great at calming me down.
That's good.
Wow, that is so cool. Thank you for the answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
she is. Yep, absolutely, 100%. We have a comment in the section here from Maria. She said, Avery, you are an amazing actress. I wonder if you have any Hollywood actor or actress who've inspired you to become a talented actress.
That is so sweet. Thank you so much. I think the person who really influenced me getting into this industry was Robin Williams. He is phenomenal. And I remember as a kid, I loved his movies. Like Mrs. Doubtfire was my favorite movie, and I watched it on repeat. I think I can quote the whole movie. And when he passed away, it was kind of shocking and kind of also an awakening for me. It was like, well, if he was able to influence my emotions in a positive way. He made me laugh. He made me cry in Mrs. Doubtfire. And it was almost like an actor can do that. Actor can influence a person watching through a screen, and I don't even know him, and he could influence me. And I think that's so amazing that watching these, I have like comfort movies that I watch and stuff that make me just feel good. So I wanted to be a part of that some way. I wanted to be a vessel to maybe possibly help somebody out there who's having a rough day. Be that comfort movie actress that you can just go to and you can watch and feel better, and just create these amazing characters. And he just created so many amazing characters that he's my idol, my hero. He's amazing.
Yeah, he was an awesome actor. I love most of his movies. I love Jumanji, Flubber.
That was classic.
So
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I love it. He just was an inspirational person to so many people. It was sad when we heard the news that he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Robin Williams.
Now,
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
speaking into that question, is there a actor who is famous today that is top up there with movies that you would like to act with one day? Who would it be?
Ooh, okay. Let me think about this one. I think Zendaya is wonderful. She is amazing. I love Euphoria. I loved all of her movies. I was even a fan of her when I was a kid, watching her on Disney Channel. So I think that she's wonderful. I think, oh man, I think Robert Downey Jr. is also amazing. He commands a scene. He commands the screen when you're watching. You can only watch him when he's in a scene. I think he's amazing, and I'd love to see what he's going to do next. And he has a production company now, which is really cool. So I want to see what kind of stuff that he's going to be creating. I think that's amazing.
Absolutely. We will see what will happen there.
Yeah.
Now, there doesn't seem to be any more comments coming in. So, how would you rate Standing Strong to viewers, and what was your experience been like being on my show?
I will have to rate it 10 out of 10. That was wonderful. You guys are so amazing, great interviewers. I loved all your questions, and I think that what you guys are doing is really good for the world right now, because we do need a lot more positivity and a lot more positive thinking, a lot more people expressing their experiences and making people feel like they're not so alone. I think that's wonderful what you guys are doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Tyler, is there anything you would like to add or ask Avery?
No, I'm out of questions, but I will add that it's always been an honor to join you, Waylon, and thank you, Miss Avery. You've been a delightful guest, and we learned so much from our guests, and keep inspiring with your acting and just being yourself, because it, like we've stated, it just, people need to know that, hey, listen, here's a lady that is acting in films and everything, but you know what? She's just like us. She's down to earth. I mean, and it's relatable. And I think that's a key component that sometimes we don't think about, is that you guys are people too. Just because you're talented don't mean you don't have your problems either. And that makes everybody else feel good. So, and you're just so positive. So thank you.
Yeah.
So much.
Yes,
Well,
thank you guys for having me on.
Well, thank you, Avery, for being my 15th Dhar Mann Actor to have interviewed. Keep being an inspirational person, and remember to always be real, honest, and inspiring, because we stand strong together. So, Avery, thank you for your time. And everyone, actually, Avery, one more time, can you promote your social media to the viewers?
Yes. Well, if you guys want to find me on Instagram, I'm at official_Avery_White. And on TikTok, I'm Avery_Reese. So you can come check out my weird TikTok videos and just follow my story on Instagram.
All right, thank you. And everyone, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Remember, for everything Standing Strong with Waylon Myers, visit my official website at waylonmyers.com and all of my social medias where you can find me and any information on this show. Go to my website. The links are there for Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Until the 36th episode, Avery, myself, and Tyler hope you all have a good rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, guys.